Welcome back to video two. Today we're going to be talking about just a few other things dealing with the presidency and then also the presidential line of succession. So let's get started. According to federal law, the president at this moment in time is given a $400,000 salary. And then the president also gets a $50,000 expense account. And according to the law, basically, this is to help with any of the costs that he might incur or might have in discharging his official duties as president. So the president makes $400,000 a year and then gets a $50,000 expense account. Now, in addition to that, of course, he gets some other benefits, like he gets to live in the White House, he gets to use Air Force One, he gets all of those other perks that come along with being president. But his salary is $400,000 a year. And then he also gets a pension. So the president, after he is no longer in office, is eligible for a pension, meaning he's eligible to get like a retirement check after he's no longer president. Moving on then to the presidential line of succession. So we all know, because of the 25th Amendment, that if something happens to the president, he can't serve, he dies, he resigns, he's removed from office, any of those things, then the vice president would take over. But what happens if something happens to the president and the vice president? Then what? Well, in 1947, Congress passed what was known as the Presidential Succession Act. And it basically established this list of people that are going to take over just in case something catastrophic would happen in our federal government. So right now, the first person, of course, in the presidential line of succession would be the vice president. Okay. After that, you have the Speaker of the House. Then you have the president pro tempore of the Senate, and that person is kind of like the substitute speaker. We talked about them in our last unit. And then after that, you start going into the secretaries of. Okay, so that's when we get into the president's cabinet. Secretary of State, Defense, Treasury, and the Attorney General would be next on that list. And it goes all the way down to the Department of Homeland Security. And the person who leads that is the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. And that person would be the very last in the line of succession. So fortunately, in the United States, we have never gotten past the vice president. If something's happened to the president, the vice president has just taken over. But if something were to happen to both of them, then the Speaker of the House would take over. So I'm going to stop there. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.